So, I know I said those Laneige Neo cushions were the most beautiful cushion compacts that I've ever seen. Well, turns out I hadn't seen this one yet. Meet the new Armani Beauty Essence-in-Balm cushion. Now, it doesn't come in this gorgeous metallic blue pouch. Unfortunately, this is a PR gift, but you wouldn't be disappointed with the compact itself because this is all sorts of beautiful. I'm not sure why, but since I was a kid, I've had a thing for chrome blue. Now, the only flaw with this packaging is it's really prone to grabbing fingerprints, so you kind of need to wipe it down quite a few times if you want to bring this out. But other than that, this is going to be the absolute talking point every time you pull it out of your bag for touch-ups. Now, technically speaking, this is not a cushion foundation. This is a solid cream foundation, or what they call a balm foundation, which kind of just has a mesh layer on top of it, and then when you apply pressure with a puff or a sponge or a brush, it sort of breaks down, crumbles, and then melts into this soft, creamy consistency, which you can then pat on over your skin. Finish and coverage wise, it is quite different from the traditional cushion to go and also the Power Fabric Foundation Balm. Now, this may look a little bit closer, but the formula is actually much higher coverage and much more matte. It's meant to blur your skin texture, cover blemishes, and also provide long wear. Now, the new Essence-in-Balm is completely different because it's meant to give you very luminous, glowing radiance. It's not meant to be a long wear product. It's also not quite the same consistency, hence the mesh on top, because this would just really break down, crumble, and go everywhere without the mesh. Because of the creamy, balmy consistency, the coverage level is completely different as well. This is medium buildable to high, depending on how much you want to pack on, because the pigments just cling in a layer to your skin. Now, this is very creamy, it spreads and it shears out very quickly, and I've also noticed that the puff itself does not pick up a lot of product when you are using it, so you will get more of a light to medium coverage maximum. Long wear matte finish, anti-dullness and glow. Finish wise, these two are a little bit closer, but this one is more of a medium buildable foundation product, whereas this one is very much sheerer and also has a lot more luminosity from the pearl pigments in it. Now, this is not meant to be a long wear product, so I don't have high expectations for how it's going to wear over the day, but I'm still going to do it just so you can at least get an idea of how it's going to wear, how it's going to break down. Now, I was matched with shade 3, which I think is a little bit pale for me right now, but because of the sheerness of the coverage, I could actually just build up coverage around the inner portions of my face where I want it to look a little bit brighter and just keep it really sheer on the outer parts of my face. Now, first thoughts on the formula. The glow level is amazing. Just look at how it shows off all the contours of your face. That said, this is going to show up any unevenness, texture, patchiness, fine lines and all that as well, so you might want to be a little bit careful if you have flaky skin or you just have a lot of lumps and bumps that you're trying to conceal. Traditionally, when you use a cushion, the glow comes more from the texture of the product itself. It's very emollient, it bounces back light because you have this, I won't say greasy, but kind of moist film on the surface of your skin. This, to a larger extent, does the same thing without you having to pack on quite the same amount of product, simply because of the reflective pigments in the formula. So if you prefer a very lightweight base, which I do for normal days, then this may actually give you that intense glow without heavy coverage. Now, one obvious flaw about the glow is that all the pores, fine lines, anything that you may usually want to hide or mute down with a little bit of powder, that's still going to show up. I did apply a little bit of loose powder, translucent powder around here, just a tiny bit, to try and take down the shine and see if I can get the glow here and, just pore blurring effect in the inner cheek area, but it's still showing up. The formula is so creamy that it's sort of absorbing the powders and neutralizing the effect in a few minutes. I think it's pretty apparent that the formula is not quite enough to cling and really camouflage over this bit of scabby skin here. Otherwise though, I have been able to build this up to a very nice medium coverage on the inner portions of my face, and I'm liking how it looks. I just wouldn't recommend this to very oily skins and also very textured or blemished skins. As usual, I'm gonna head off now, let this sit on my face for the next few hours, and then at the end of the day, I will check in and let you guys see how well it's managed to stay on, or you know, how badly it's broken down. Hey guys, it is now almost 6 p.m. and I have been wearing this Essence-in-Balm foundation by Armani Beauty for just a little over 6 hours now. I haven't touched up, I've not done much to my face, so you can see that there is a ton of shine, especially around this area of my face, which isn't the most flattering. I was wearing a mask earlier and I think it's barely visible, but there's just a little bit of staining around the folds and maybe more along the bottoms where it was rubbing around my jaws. Quick blot test. Can you see the gap in the product where I just pressed the blotter on? So it's in no way, shape or form going to cling and last very well on your skin, especially if you're sweating, you're in very hot humid weather, or you have oily skin. Armani never promised that this would be great for layering and touching up midday, but again, this comes in a cushion, and I assume people who are buying a portable cushion or compact foundation like this would need to touch up. You see how this has instantly brightened this area of my face versus the areas where it's kind of worn off a little or it's looking a little bit dull. I would say this actually touches up quite nicely. If you need a little bit of freshening up or brightening in the middle of the day when your skin's looking a little bit dull or a little bit tired, that said, this does add quite a bit of glow back. So if you have texture that you're trying to hide, or if you have a matte concealer on certain areas where you have boo-boo to cover up, I would say avoid touching this up over those specific areas. Otherwise, I would say this is a nice compact foundation to bring out with you if you happen to like a luminous, dewy finish and you're expecting to touch up midday. And touch up you will need to, because this is not the kind of formula that's going to mask any pores, discolorations or texture. It's just going to very subtly enhance and brighten and give you a glow. Now it definitely does what it says it's going to do, but we're going to cover a couple of the bad points or the cons about this product. One being the shade range. Now in Singapore there are only 4 shades that I saw on tanks.com. There may be a couple more at the boutiques, I'm not 100% sure right now, but it goes more or less down to maybe an NC 30-35 kind of a shade here. If you're any tanner than that, you're not going to find a shade which is... The second obvious problem is the price tag. This is 120 Sing dollars for just the case and one single refill, which is 14 grams. That's not too far off from, the usual stick foundations, but most of these cost you half of this price, or close to that. So you will be investing for the packaging, you're investing for the brand, and well, it's just a luxury product. There's not that much to say about it. And that's this very quick review of the new Armani Beauty Essence-in-Balm Foundation Cushion. I hope you guys found this helpful. If you've tried it, as always, please let me know what you think of it. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video.